This situation is far more worse than you can ever imagine. Now, guys, I've been bringing this up a lot lately because there's actually no words for the amount of anger, disappointment, sadness that I can convey. I just don't know how, because it's the sex trafficking industry. Now, this video is undoubtedly going to get demonetized because whenever you talk about this subject, they demonetize it right away. It's YouTube. And I told you demonetization is not about money. It's once they do that, they show the video way less. So this video is also going to be on Rumble as well. But the issue, guys, with that whole industry is that everyone knows who the players are. That is the insanity about the sex trafficking industry. Everyone knows who everyone is. Now, I used to think that that industry was just involving kids, but then I found out that it also involves women, and then they try to throw prostitution in there, which I don't like because a lot of women, especially in this day and age, prostitutes that is, they are their own employee, if you will. I hate to say it that way. They don't have pimps, is what I'm saying. So they try to, I think, muddy the waters with that as well, which is bullshit. Because the ST industry, sex trafficking, the ST industry is flooded with people who are doing it against their will. Now, in prostitution, there are some, but not many. But the ST industry, tons. Tons. And I mean, guys, everybody knows who the players are. In fact, there are groups of people out there who are looking to help out destroy that industry. And they know who all the heavy hitters are, sorry. And they get stopped with roadblocks left and right. You have states telling certain groups that you need this license, that license. You got to make sure you have this therapist on call, that doctor on call. Like, they make it hard for you to want to help diminish this industry, or at the very least, when the kids get out of that industry, to help them recover from that. They make it hard for groups to help kids recover from that. Meanwhile, you come across the border, you got a doctor, you got a psychologist, you got a home, you get food, you get everything at your disposal. But when it comes to helping kids in that industry, the ST industry, forget about it. Hell and high water just to get a license. They throw roadblocks in the way. Politicians want you to grease their palms so that they can talk to another politician so that you can get this license. Meanwhile, everybody knows who everybody is, and they know where all the players are. The Mexican cartel, classic case in point example, are moving into this. The FBI knows, the CIA knows, everybody knows that they're moving into this industry and trying to get away from drugs. Not get away from drugs, but lessen it. I mean, they're going to still make their money with that, but they know that they can make more money with women and kids. And everybody knows which cartel family is getting involved. There's some cartel families, believe it or not that I'm trying to, give them attaboys and pats on the back, but they don't want to be involved in that shit. But there are others that are getting into it. You got Venezuelan gangs right now in New York City running around with prostitutes in Queens. These people, guys, are known. There are politicians who know who's who. Hell, there are politicians involved around the world. Not just here in the United States, because I know some of you American-hating assholes are going to be like, just like American politics. No. Everywhere around the world, every politician knows which politicians are involved in sex trafficking. Every president knows every country who has high volume of sex trafficking, the United States being one of them. This is a problem that is easily solved. Easily solved. You can put a manhunt out for people around the world, and the United States will undoubtedly find them. undoubtedly. But you can't find a bunch of missing women and kids. There's a problem. And the problem is that they like to sell you that bullshit. Well, once they get into that world, they disappear forever and we could never find them. The fuck you can. Follow the money. You follow the trail. You follow the trail, it leads you to who is in charge, at least in that section. I know that there's so many different gangs, there's so many different cartel families and crime families getting involved in this now. I know that the Yakuza is completely out on it, though they are heavy-handed in dealing drugs. They don't want to deal with that. But the industry, guys, is $1 billion, and from what I read the last time, going to be a $1 trillion industry. $1 trillion industry, if it's not already there, sorry. And again, guys, we have cops who pull people over for speeding, and this is me, because they pulled me over for speeding. And as I get pulled over for speeding and the cops breaking my balls, I'm like, yo, just give me the fucking ticket. Enough already. I don't need your speech about speeding. Go get me the ticket. I'm sitting there thinking, how many cars are passing me with some fucking girl or kids in the trunk or in the back seat being trafficked somewhere else? Meanwhile, I get stopped for speeding. And granted, sex traffickers don't speed. They follow the laws. They keep it under the radar. Their car squared away. I understand that. But there are highways out there, guys, where kids are up and down it all day. 95, for example, one of the main ones. And then some of the back roads as well, because they just want to stay out of sight, out of mind, right? Guys, everyone, and when I mean everyone, there are groups out there that know who the sex traffickers are. I was told the other day of a group of sex traffickers that I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And you guys know who they are and nothing's being done? They're like, we're going to handle it. I'm like, there's only one way to handle it, guys. There's only one way to handle sex trafficking, and that is not jail. I'm sorry. Jail is not the answer. We can't sit here and give them jail time, because then they know they're only going to get a couple of years. These people only get, depending on the state, anywhere between 3 to maybe 10 years. Depends on how many they have. And then they're out, and what do? Right back into the system again. More of these girls are speaking up, but the problem is, guys, when even the victims speak up, the victims know too much. And then because they were high or they were on drugs, the lawyer makes sure that, well, you were high at the time, weren't you? So how do you really know what you saw and heard? This is the bullshit they play. Everybody's involved, and the only way to change it, guys, is to start making examples of these people. The cops have to be on board with making examples of these people, or they are part of the problem and they're part of the system. And I know that there are a lot of cops that are part of the system that will hide and cover it up, but there are cops that are not. And if you're against it, you know how to deal with it when you find these people. There's only one way, because there has to be heavy examples made of, and not through the court system, but through the street system. Putting them in the ground 12 feet under, not 6. 6 is too light for them. You got to go a little heavier with the dirt. Things are only going to change, guys, when we start writing our politicians and calling our politicians, when we start taking matters into our own hands. Then and only then will something change. Sound of Freedom, the movie, comes out, and they motherfuck the shit out of that movie like I've never seen, because they hit it on the head. They hit the nail on the head. They got too close to home. And even The View, a bunch of cackling sack of shit, whore-infested, herpes having, don't even know where to go with it. But these bitches sit there and go, the movie is fabricated. It's fake. That's too far-fetched. These bitches don't know what that world is. So, of course, they're going to say that. And then with them saying that, that drove people away from going to see the movie. Though it still made its money and it was still a hit, it drove enough people away from the movie. Those chicks are part of the problem, and they're part of the system as well. We have to start breaking the system, guys, and we have to start making examples of these people. Period. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.